CrossFit pull-ups are a recurring topic online, often mocked and used as a way for pseudo-experts to act like they know everything, when in reality they don't even understand what they're talking about. Today I want to break this down and explain why, yes, CrossFit pull-ups can be legitimate. First, let's clarify the difference between a strict pull-up and a keeping pull-up. A strict pull-up is performed without momentum. You hang from a bar with your arms straight and you pull yourself up using your biceps and back muscles among other muscle groups until your chin is above the bar. Then you control the descent and start again. In CrossFit, however, athletes often use keeping, a pendulum-like motion which creates momentum and makes the pull-up easier. You start pulling while you're already swinging, which reduces the amount of pulling strength required. Once mastered, this technique can transfer to other movements or evolve into butterfly pull-up, which uses the same rocking motion but with additional technical cues to perform reps faster. So, as we've established, keeping is simply a technique that's designed to optimize pull-up performance within CrossFit. It follows CrossFit's rules and standards, and just like any technique, it requires learning, practice, progression, and prerequisites. Good coaching ensures athletes first master strict pull-ups, then learn the keeping positions, rhythm, and timing, and then start gradually incorporating them into workouts. A responsible coach won't let an athlete keep during workouts if they don't meet the prerequisites. And even when an athlete learns to keep properly, it does not mean they can suddenly string 10 flawless reps in the middle of a workout. Just like any skill, it needs to be developed progressively. So yes, there are impatient athletes and permissive coaches who let keeping show up too early, but that's on them. It does not mean the technique in itself is inherently bad or dangerous, and it certainly does not make CrossFit a bad sport. Saying so is as stupid as claiming that powerlifting is unsafe simply because some athletes go too heavy without paying attention to form. That kind of reasoning is simply unfair. Now that we've talked about most stereotypes and critics, let's look at this from a broader perspective. Every sport develops adaptations for performance. In Olympic weightlifting, advanced athletes rely on extreme ranges of motion, especially in the squat during cleans or snatches. Being able to squat deeper allows them to catch the bar lower, which means they don't have to lift it as high, allowing them to lift heavier. That adaptation is made for performance. On the flip side, powerlifters often minimize range of motion by using extreme arch in the bench press, very low bar position during the squat, or very wide stance during sumo deadlift. These technical choices are adaptations made to lift more weight while remaining within the rules. Yes, they can be controversial at the extremes, but there's still natural progression in any competitive sports, and it works the exact same way for CrossFit. Pull-up sets in competition can be extremely long, and the goal is to perform them as fast and efficiently as possible. That's why keeping and butterfly pull-up exist. In training, the goals are different, but in competition, efficiency rules. And it does not mean that elite CrossFit athletes are not training strict pull-ups. In fact, they're most of the time really strong at them. And moreover, as I already said, good coaches are supposed to teach strict pull-ups before keeping. To finish, let's draw a parallel with gymnastics and especially the uneven bars. Gymnasts use keeping or swinging to perform their movements. Now, of course, they're strong enough to pull themselves over the bar without any momentum, but the pendulum-like movement allows them to create speed, to conserve energy, and to transition more efficiently. Nobody calls them cheaters. So why the double standard? Is it because gymnastics looks cleaner than CrossFit, because it's considered more respectable? Or is it simply because the so-called gymfluencers who preach respect and tolerance are actually hypocrites who jump on the hate train to attack the new kid in the world of fitness? In my personal opinion, one of the three options is far more likely than the others. In conclusion, the hate CrossFit pull-ups receive online mostly comes from misunderstanding, so I hope this video helped clarify why this technique can be legitimate in the context, and why its bad reputation comes from the misuse by a minority of athletes and coaches. Whether you're for or against keeping pull-up, which is fine, make sure you at least understand what you're talking about before wasting your time arguing in every CrossFitter's comment section. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, suggestions, or anything else, feel free to drop a comment down below, or you can contact me straight through my social media, the links are in the description. I'll see you next Sunday, and until then, train hard, stay consistent, and never forget, make yourself proud.